Hi, I'm Pete Ockuly. I'm the lead instructor at the Become Worth Following Leadership Academy. I just wanted to let you know that a lot of people out there are really trying to improve their group. They're trying to improve their team, their organization. And I guess if there was one thing that could improve your group's performance overnight, it would be to institute just one simple single rule, and that is this: no BCD. BCD wrecks organizations. It wrecks groups. It wrecks families. It wrecks teams. It wrecks even individuals. What is BCD? BCD is blaming, complaining, and defending. Let's start off by talking about blaming. Okay, so blaming. You shouldn't blame. Why not? Well, blaming breeds distrust. And if you want to know more about why distrust kills an organization, you should read a book by Pat Lencioni. It's called 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. He talks all about how trust is the basis of a good functioning organization. But bottom line is this: blaming people breeds distrust. Now, you should realize that sometimes problems need to be addressed, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean you're blaming. So being able to tell the difference between when you're blaming somebody and when you're actually legitimately addressing a problem for the good of the group, for the good of the team, for the good of the organization, that takes a lot of self-awareness. And really, if you don't have that self-awareness, I got 4 questions for you that will help you develop that self-awareness. Here they are. First, just ask yourself, is the situation getting in the way of group success? If the answer is yes, go to the next question. If the answer is no, well then maybe just leave it alone. Next question is, am I sure that I'm not bringing up this problem out of anger or frustration? The next question is, have I done everything on my end to make sure that the problem is being solved? And the last question is, can addressing the problem do any good, or could it be that it's just a matter of circumstances that are outside of our control? Okay, if the answer to all 4 of these questions is yes, then you need to address the situation head on. If not, it may just be a matter of your opinion, so just kind of keep your mouth shut. You don't need to say anything. All right, now let's talk about complaining, okay? Complaining is one of the worst things you can do for an organization. Don't spend time complaining. Why? Because it wastes time that you could spend fixing things. I mean, think about, if you have a flat tire, you can complain about the flat tire or you can fix the flat tire. But if you're gonna complain, every second you spend complaining about the flat tire, that's a second that you could have spent fixing the flat tire and you'd be on the road that much quicker. So quit complaining and just get it done. But the thing that you gotta remember is that identifying a problem is not necessarily the same thing as complaining. Sometimes problems do need to be identified, right? And so when people say, well, I shouldn't complain, I shouldn't complain, I shouldn't complain. But you know what? Maybe there's something that does need fixing and you're just the person to fix it. So yeah, you might have to kind of tell people about it and get people involved in it, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't say it just because you think you're complaining. So how do you do it? Well, again, it takes a little bit of self-awareness. You got to know the difference between complaining and actually legitimately identifying a problem. Again, there's a few questions you can ask yourself that'll instantly tell you, are you complaining or are you identifying a problem? First question, am I sure this isn't some kind of emotional frustration that I just need to get off my chest? Second question, is there anything that can even be done about this situation? Third question, am I willing to do something about it myself? Fourth question, will addressing the problem I have identified make the group better? The last question is, am I sure that this isn't some rare circumstance, maybe even a one-time thing that's now over? Again, if the answer to all 5 of these is yes, then say something. If not, keep it to yourself. The last part of the rule is don't defend yourself, right? Like sometimes you're gonna make mistakes. Don't defend yourself. Don't spend time justifying your behavior or excusing yourself. Accept the fact that, you know what, you're not perfect. And sometimes when you're working, especially when you're working with a group, you may let the group down, okay? Just accept that. You gotta be prepared for people to call you out on that. And if you're not, then you got a real problem. Now, defending yourself is not the same as validating yourself, right? Defending yourself means that you're making mistakes, you're not owning up to them, you're not taking the input that people are giving you for selfish and prideful reasons. So of course, you know, there may be times when you honestly take a look at yourself and you go, I really think I'm doing the right thing here. So you're like, I'm honestly evaluating and saying, I think I should probably justify myself here. So how do you know? How do you know whether you need to justify yourself or whether you're just sort of defending yourself? Well, again, there are 5 questions that kind of help you discern. But the first question is this. Ask yourself this. Is the input that I'm receiving pointing out something that I wasn't even aware of? Okay, and then the second question is the input I'm receiving correct? Is it accurate? Is it true? And then the third thing is there anything that I can do about the input that I'm receiving? Then the fourth thing is, for the good of the group, is there anything that I should do about the input that I'm receiving? And then the fifth thing is just simply this. Am I sure that I'm not refusing to make a change out of pride and selfishness? If the answer to all 5 of those things is yes, then you need to be strong enough and you need to be humble enough to set your pride aside and make a change. These aren't actually my ideas. These actually come from Coach Urban Meyer. He's got a great book out there called Above the Line, and he talks all about this in Above the Line. But the bottom line is, Coach Meyer agrees, I agree, it's part of success. You need to work to ruthlessly eliminate blaming, complaining, and defending, not only from your life, but from the lives of everybody around you. If you can do that, you can make that one rule, you're gonna instantly be a better group, and you yourself will be worth